We're getting a live look inside the Tennessee State Capitol building in Nashville, Tennessee, where protesters have gathered, demanding a ban on assault weapons after this week's shooting at the Covenant School. Now, there in Tennessee, you're seeing what apparently these protesters blocked at some point the entrance of the lawmakers, who then proceeded inside. Shannon, we were just talking a moment ago that there are some in the mainstream media who specifically blame the governor there in Tennessee and Republicans for, quote, skating around the fact that they are directly responsible for helping create the circumstances that allowed Monday's shooting to occur, referencing specifically 2 years ago a failure to pass a red flag law. Now, some argue that would have prevented the shooter from legally acquiring 7 guns. But the counter argument to that is criminals commit crimes, and no amount of laws prevent whether it's a legal acquisition of a gun. It doesn't prevent the illegal use of that weapon to take lives, which is always illegal. And in the here and now, not in the slow behemoth that is legislature, in the here and now, what we need is safety and protection of children like that.
Yeah, and I think that this is one of the most beautiful things about America, that you can go and do this in a state capitol. You can speak your mind. These people are angry. They are emotional. We all are after this shooting. It is horrific and heartbreaking and gut-wrenching. So the fact that they would go there and speak their minds, I think is a beautiful, uniquely American thing. Glad to see it. But we do have to have broader conversations. There is not one easy fix for this whole thing. And we have to remember, if you're talking about a red flag law, who would have been in the best position here? It would have been the parents. And they felt like this shooter had gotten rid of guns, maybe had one left, was getting rid of it. They would have been the people to flag this. There was nothing that would have shown up like in a background check, obviously, because the person got these guns legally. So there are a lot of conversations, difficult conversations to have.
Look, we don't want to ignore these images or that audio coming out of there. I mean, our voices are having to compete with it because it's so loud. I'm curious to know what they're holding up and what they're shouting and what they think that this is going to accomplish. And Shannon, you put it so eloquently, this is what we do in the United States of America, the right to protest. They're inside the state building, the state capitol building in Tennessee, and they're angry, and they want gun control to change in this country. I'm going to ask the team, can we just let this play a little bit so we can try to hear what they're chanting? It is so interesting. There seems to be a little bit of coordination here, just in terms of their voices. You heard it get very quiet there. The chant changed. Doug, you were on the Hill, Congressman on the Hill, and you look at this and you know what this can mean for gun control. Who does this put pressure on in the state of Tennessee today?
Right now, everybody will feel the pressure from it. But actually coming through, the problem with this, and I agree, this is what we do in America. We protest. We make our voice heard. But the question is, what do you actually do? What actually comes from this? And if it's red flag laws, most every thing that we've seen on these shooters, none of the red flag laws would have ever stopped these people. Okay, so let's pass a law that's not going to actually do anything. Then let's take away X gun, assault rifle. Let's just name stuff. The problem here is something we've talked about, sort of been a theme of this whole show today, is that there is a separation, that we'll do what we want to do, that what my opinion is right, and that there is right and wrong. And we've had issues with people who need help. But when you have parents who do not know that there's 7 guns in their household, when you have this issue that close to home, how are you expecting the community or the law enforcement folks to know about this? And then the last thing that we've not talked about, which was a picked target because it was soft. It was picked because it was not there. I ask this question all the time. What's going to stop you if you're driving down the road speeding? I'll make another analogy. You're speeding. You see a sign that says drive 65, or you see a state trooper sitting on the side of the road. I'm going to stop because of state trooper. I'm going to stop because there's an armed guard at a school before I go in, and that's exactly what happened here. I feel for these folks. They're emotional. I'm emotional. I've done this for many years. But at a certain point in time, you've also got to see what works and what doesn't work, and just that's the sad part about it.
I love the distinction of short-term and long-term action, decision-making that has short-term impact, immediate impact, versus long-term. And Kaylee, you and I spoke about a few days ago, A.G. Hamilton, 29, who said, if I understand this correctly, if a shooter has right-wing views, then the right's rhetoric is responsible. If a shooter has left-wing views, the right's policies are responsible.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Isn't that always the conundrum? These kids, some of their signs and some of their chants have been protect our kids, enough is enough. And I can tell you, every parent in America is saying that, myself included. But we've got to get, to Doug's point, to real solutions here, past the talking points. You know, as I mentioned Monday, the left talks about gun control, the right talks about mental health. Well, let's have a discussion about what can change things, not generations from now, but tomorrow. What can stop a school shooting tomorrow is a deterrent, is an armed guard, is hardening our schools. That can stop the next school shooter. Marsha Blackburn, to her credit, senator from the state, Senator Haggerty, they have put together the Safe Schools Act, establishes a $900 million grant program that will allow both public and private schools to train and hire veterans and former law enforcement officers to serve as school safety officers. Dan Bongino highlighted a Secret Service report, and in averted cases of school shootings, about 1/3 of them were brought to light by school resource officers. These are mainly armed law enforcement officers that create relationships with students and are able to identify threats. That can make
key.
a change. So let's get rid of the talking points from both parties and let's truly protect our kids.
Amen.